And just like that, the trade that we have all been waiting for, I've been talking about for days on this channel, has finally gone down. De'Aaron Fox is no longer a Sacramento King and is now Victor Wembanyama's co-star in San Antonio. Now, I feel like it's pretty important that we go over this trade. I've seen a lot of different opinions on who got fleeced, who got snubbed, how the Kings did, how this team did, whatever it is. We're going to go over everything, but I first just want to say thank you, De'Aaron Fox. I know he's not going to see this video, so I'm not going to make this like a really corny, like long segment where I'm like, thank you for everything. But on a real note, De'Aaron Fox has been a huge piece of Sacramento for such a long time. He's been here for forever. He was the face of the franchise, a guy that, was the future, was, the only real bright spot that this team had since like DeMarcus Cousins early on. And for a guy like that to stay in Sacramento for so long, never have any drama around him, never want to do like a trade request, because I should make it very clear, he never requested out of Sacramento in this situation. He never requested a trade and never complained for no reason. Like, yeah, he's going to apply pressure to the front office by saying, hey, we need a big or we need a wing, whatever it is. But he never was a big drama guy. And when you have someone like that who just goes in, clocks in, does the work, that is just huge to have, especially for the city of Sacramento, a place where we don't really get players like that. So thank you, De'Aaron Fox, for everything he's done, leading this team to the playoffs for the first time in 16 years, All-NBA, All-Star. I mean, the list goes on of what he has accomplished here. So let's just go ahead and take a look at the deal. The Sacramento Kings will receive Zach LaVine, Sidy Cissoko, 3 first-round picks, and 3 second-rounders. The San Antonio Spurs will be receiving De'Aaron Fox and J-Mac, whereas the Chicago Bulls, the third team in this trade, will be receiving Trey Jones, Zach Collins, Kevin Huerter, and a 2025 pick. Now, let me say, at first, this looks like a huge return for the Sacramento Kings. You're getting a pick from the Charlotte Hornets, I think the San Antonio Spurs, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Obviously, the Timberwolves and San Antonio Spurs don't matter as much because those teams are most likely still going to be good, but a 2025 Charlotte Hornets first-round pick, do you know how bad they are this year? And then you wake up from your dream and realize that it's a heavily lottery protected pick that, if conveyed, if the Charlotte Hornets are in the lottery, top 14, I'm pretty sure, it just turns into 2 second rounders. This isn't like some way that the Kings are going to try to sneak in and get Cooper Flag or do it. No, it's a pointless pick. So let's just get that out of the way there. All the picks in this trade are basically useless, but the Sacramento Kings got Zach LaVine, a guy that the Kings have been wanting for a very long time now. They sent him an offer sheet. I forgot what year it was, but a while ago. They've always had their eye on Zach LaVine. They always liked him as a player, always wanted him on the roster, and they finally got their man. The only downside about that, you have DeMar DeRozan. We're basically the Sacramento Bulls at this point. It's so hard to think about because I just have like 2 paths in my head. One of them is just like, why didn't we just trade for the picks, trade for the young players, just kind of start the rebuild, right? Assume that everybody else in the team is just going to want to leave, like DeMar DeRozan or, Sabonis maybe, whatever it is, and just go with the young rebuild. We had 2 good years, whatever it is. Don't try to force it and make it work. But then the other side of me and the route that they actually ended up taking was like trading for a win now guy, someone to kind of just plug in for De'Aaron Fox and hopefully carry the load from there. And I should be clear, Zach LaVine is a guy that can do that. He is a great player. I do not want to make it sound like he's some bum. The guy is a borderline all-star this year. He's having a crazy efficient season. He can get to the rim. He's a great cutter, so he works great with Sabonis. He's also a better shooter than De'Aaron Fox. Like, a lot of the things are pros. They're good for the Kings. The only side of me that feels a bit concerned is just when looking at everybody else. Like, 1, who knows if Zach LaVine even wants to be here, right? But 2, DeMar DeRozan, he might not want to fucking stay here. If Zach LaVine comes here, he just got done playing with his ass. Now, I know that there's some weird, reports about how Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan hate each other or like some random shit. I don't think that's true. I don't think they didn't like playing with each other. I think that they had a good season that unfortunately got ruined because of injuries and things kind of fell apart. So who knows, right? Because this Sacramento roster is a better constructed roster than that Bulls team was when they were really good, okay? So maybe things work out a little bit better, but I do see DeMar DeRozan possibly going. It's been announced that the Kings aren't done making moves, so maybe there's some more moves that come in. DeMar has kind of made it clear that, hey, I don't know what my future is here anymore with Fox being gone, so who really knows about that, right? But that's all I have for the Sacramento Kings. It's a situation where I want to see how they play. Maybe they feel a lot more free now that the, weight of a trade rumor is no longer in the locker room, because, hey, this team was on a huge winning streak. Doug Christie was looking like the savior of the city, and then this kind of like distraction distraction came in and everything kind of changed a little bit, right? Everyone started talking about how the locker room is a little upset. They don't know if Fox is going to leave, if he's going to stay. So maybe this is all cleared up. They can finally get back to playing their basketball and just incorporate Zach LaVine into that. I also think he's still going to play good with Sabonis, like I mentioned before. I think that'll be fun to watch. So I'm not going to say the Sacramento Kings are now a lottery team or they got fleeced in this deal. What I will say is I need a solid like 5 to 10 games to see what the hell they're even doing. And also see what they can do up until the end of the deadline. Because like they said, and we've heard it for years now, they are wanting to make some more moves. So we'll see if that's actually true. As for the San Antonio Spurs, obviously trade-wise, this is arguably like one of the best deals that we've seen so far, you know, at least for this like trade deadline. But for them to not have to give up guys like Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan, Keldon Johnson, whatever it is, and not have to give up any insane picks either, like this is a huge deal for them. This is huge. They gave up Trey Jones, Zach Collins, and 2 picks that don't really matter for an all-NBA point guard co-star alongside Victor Wembanyama. I don't think enough people are talking about that. Obviously, everyone's going to go over the whole Luka Doncic thing, and like we've been doing that for a little bit here. But like this is a scary trade for what the future is for the San Antonio Spurs. They're going to be damn good. So that's obviously huge. I mean, I'm going to be tapped in onto every single San Antonio Spurs game. I want to see these two play alongside each other so bad. I said earlier when the whole, trade rumors first kind of got announced that if there was anywhere De'Aaron Fox would get traded to, I would want it to be San Antonio because I think he fits so good with Victor Wembanyama. I don't think any other guard, like give me Trae Young next to him and I still don't think that that's as good as De'Aaron Fox would be. Obviously their shooting is a little bit of an issue and that's part of the thing with like Stephon Castle is he's not really going to provide you that either, which is why, I would have loved to seen him on the Kings. I wanted them really bad, but you know what? Whatever. So obviously we all know the San Antonio Spurs, A+, they absolutely killed it in this deal. They had all the leverage here either way, so it didn't really matter. And then finally, the Chicago Bulls. Jesus Christ. Why did they do this? There was always this weird bubble around Zach LaVine. He was going to get traded before the season. Ended up not happening. He still went through on training camp, really played it out like a professional. And it was kind of like this feeling around the league where it's like, okay, Zach LaVine is worth something. Like you have to give up something for Zach LaVine. And then you have the fact that he's like killing it this season, like having one of the best seasons of his career. And it kind of felt like one of those things where it's like, okay, it's going to cost you a lot to get him. And that's why we didn't see teams like the Warriors make their deals, right? Like Kuminga and whatever it was for Zach LaVine, but now they're taking a 2025 pick from the Spurs. I don't know if it's protected at all, but even if it isn't protected, you're not getting anything crazy for that. Like, I mean, at least how you valued Zach LaVine, why would they even be in this deal? Another underrated part of this trade that not many people I feel like are going to really talk about is the fact that the Sacramento Kings got rid of Kevin Huerter. Kevin Huerter is a Chicago Bull. And my God, am I happy about that? Because obviously I'm not like in the locker room every day. I don't know what these guys are talking about. I'm not in the group chats, but I have heard through the grapevine he is not the best guy to have on your team. When it comes to chemistry or like moral, or morale, whatever it is, he's not that guy. And I think he's also been waiting to get traded. Like he has been expecting this move for some time now. So to finally get him out of the locker room is something that makes me very happy. The fact that it took us trading De'Aaron Fox for him to leave, absolutely insane. That I don't understand, but definitely one of the bigger things there. If you're a Chicago Bulls fan, I honestly apologize. I'm sorry for the Kevin Huerter that you're going to have to watch here for the next couple of years or however long he's with the team. As of right now, I'm not even really like emotional about it. At first I kind of looked at the picture of, Fox and Wemby and was like, damn, like this is actually the future. I think the only sad part is kind of knowing that the Kings are back on the downfall. Like obviously I'm excited to see what can happen with Zach LaVine or whatever other trade they decide to do if they can actually somehow build a good roster now that Fox is gone. I'm excited to see how they do it, what happens, but on the other side of things, I'm like, okay, this is just like the end. Like it's over. Nothing is keeping this team, being good. But yeah, once again, very excited for De'Aaron Fox. I'm gonna watch all those games. If you're a San Antonio Spurs fan and you're watching this video, you guys just got a huge steal. And I'm a Spurs fan now. I'm one of you guys. So hopefully you guys all enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below your opinions on literally everything to do with this trade. If you're a Bulls fan, Spurs fan, Kings fan, or just a random NBA fan, let me know everything down in the comments below. I read and respond to everyone. And yeah, man, these deals are not done happening. So once again, subscribe so you know when something goes down and you can hear my very important take talking about it. And hopefully by the next video, this pimple on my lip has finally gone away. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. Later.